what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him, more power to him. As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
That he had a chance, but he really didn't have a chance to beat this kid tonight, and it showed very early.
Mike Tyson has sent a warning to Floyd Mayweather not to fight Jake Paul. Once the undisputed king of boxing, Mike Tyson has always had a commanding presence in the ring and beyond, but at 58 years old, time has a way of humbling even the greatest. His long-awaited return to the ring against Jake Paul, a YouTuber-turned-boxer, was a spectacle that drew the world's attention. Tyson came in strong, fueled by his legacy and the same grit that defined his prime years in the 80s. However, it wasn't enough to stop the relentless energy of a 27-year-old Paul, who claimed victory through a unanimous decision. The match, hosted at AT&T Stadium and streamed as part of a historic live sports event on Netflix, marked a new chapter in Tyson's storied career. Despite flashes of his legendary power, it was clear that nearly 2 decades away from the ring and the march of time had taken their toll. Jake Paul, with his unorthodox but effective style, controlled the pace and proved that youth and preparation often outweigh experience when the years stack up. This defeat wasn't a shock to those who follow the sport closely. Among them was Floyd Mayweather Jr., a fellow boxing legend who has always had an eye for the business side of the sport. With whispers of Mayweather potentially stepping into the ring with Paul, the idea of 2 eras colliding seemed enticing, until Mike Tyson stepped in, has sent a clear warning to Mayweather to not do it. Tyson's message isn't just about boxing, it's about protecting the sanctity of their legacies. After all, Mayweather's undefeated record and calculated approach to the sport have kept him on a pedestal long after his official retirement. A match against Jake Paul could be lucrative, but it could also tarnish a reputation that took decades to build. Tyson's warning seems to carry a deeper understanding of what's at stake, not just for Mayweather, but for boxing as a whole.
You watch him fight somebody more his size, which I think made a difference. But again, it's like, what are we going to do in regards to Jake Paul and his boxing career? What are we going to do in regards to Jake Paul and his boxing career? Because he's proven time and time again he can sell an event, right? We saw that with Tyron. We saw that with Anderson. We saw that with Mike Perry. No matter who he fights, it's going to be big. Not Mike Tyson big, because we saw other guys sell 18,000. Against Mike Tyson, he sold 71,000 seats. But is this going to be a real career? Because how long can we truly just do these fights that ultimately don't matter? And realistically, when you do these fights, wow, they are fun. They really don't do much to help a sport that needs everything. Every big thing should be done to help. When Francis Ngannou fought Tyson Fury to a decision, I said boxing lost. Every time we allow for Jake to kind of roll out there and put on these types of fights, it's not the best look for the sport of boxing. It really isn't. And I'm not hating on Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul is a much better boxer. People give him credit for. But I mean, how could he not be? Kid's a millionaire that's training with high-level coaches. His coach used to be at Kronk Gym. He was a fucking guy that was trained under Emmanuel Stewart. He's getting the best of the best in preparation for these fights.
Mike Tyson's return to the ring was as much a spectacle as it was a sobering reminder of how far the mighty can fall. The fight against Jake Paul, marked by a 31-year age gap, wasn't just controversial, it shows how time spares no one. Tyson's legendary past couldn't save him from the reality of the present. He barely scraped through the first round, claiming it as his only victory in an otherwise one-sided match. From there, Paul controlled the fight, doing just enough to ensure his 11th win in 12 fights without delivering a knockout blow to the aging icon. Criticism had been mounting since the fight was announced. Many in the combat sports world questioned the ethics of pitting a 27-year-old internet personality against a 58-year-old former champion battling numerous health issues, and their concerns played out in the ring. Tyson managed to land a mere 18 punches across all the rounds, while Paul connected 78 times. The disparity was glaring, and while some fans speculated that Paul's gloves may have given him an edge, the reality was clear: Tyson was simply outmatched.
It just hurt me to see Mike there in that situation, like knowing Mike, what he can do, and see him there with Jake Paul, and Jake Paul like, hey man, like that side just hurt me. Although like you have to give it to Mike, man. This is 58 years old Mike Tyson, that been doing this sport since 12 years old, I believe. And then to be able to still be able to like stand up on his own at this age, I think is impressive. And stand up against a young 27 years old guy, even though I would say he wouldn't be at that level, but wasn't that much a threat for Mike, though. Like, you have to give it up for him, to him, standing up by his own at that age, and go like over 15 minutes with a young guy. Man, that was impressive.
For many, watching Tyson in this state was painful. It wasn't just about the loss. It was about seeing a man who once epitomized greatness struggling to keep up with a social media personality. The fight might have been a payday or an attempt to reclaim some piece of his legacy, but it left fans and critics alike wondering if it was worth it. Jake Paul may have walked away with another victory, but in the eyes of many, the match only served as a reminder of just how far Tyson had fallen from his days of glory. Paul himself admitted he was taking it easy on Tyson, but that did little to soften the blow of seeing a once dominant figure look visibly fatigued as the fight dragged on. However, the fallout was anything but celebratory. Fans and fighters alike took to social media, questioning the legitimacy of the bout and mocking the matchup with memes of Paul squaring off against other figures from the past. The event, while a spectacle, left many wondering about the trajectory of Paul's career.
When you say it was a lie, Mike, what do you mean?
That they had no intentions to really strap it on. If you look through that, I didn't see one patented uppercut by Mike Tyson. What did Mike Tyson win on? Uppercut. Then I heard some people talking about they could put that in the contract. He couldn't body and then uppercut. Like, how could you put that in a fight contract? How you got all these people out here and he couldn't body him and do that patented uppercut? All of that is, Mike Tyson is not Mike Tyson anyway, and now you taking away Mike Tyson's best gift, which was that uppercut. Man, that's a big lie to me, man. That's like making me play a game without running a slant route and a deep in or a deep out. You do what you do best. And if they take that away, you ain't that dude no more. And they took that away.
But the reality is that Paul's victory opened doors to more serious challenges. With Tyson in the rearview mirror, the question on everyone's mind is simple: who's next? Whether it's another legend past their prime or a younger, hungrier fighter looking to take him down, Paul's win against Tyson has positioned him for his next headline-grabbing bout. For better or worse, Jake Paul continues to be a force in this new era of spectacle-driven boxing.
All you guys are hating on Jake Paul, but I give him props. The guy made $40 million, he sold us all on a big fight. He's probably arguably done more for the sport in this last fight and drawing attention back into it, because it is a dying sport, since anyone's done since Mayweather. The fact that he got on Netflix, the viewership numbers, he got Mike Tyson paid tens of millions of dollars as well. But here's the most important thing that no one is talking about. He purposely didn't knock out Mike Tyson. He held back. Not a single person has realized it. Jake Paul, he knew he could have knocked him out. He could have done it in the 4th round easily. Why do you think nothing was done for the rest of the fight? It's the respect he had from him. He knew two things. One, he could drop him like that. Mike Tyson had no energy whatsoever left. And you don't knock out a grandpa. That would be the nightmare scenario for him and his brand. If he dropped or hurt Mike Tyson, he would be done. He would completely be canceled. Everyone would hate his guts. That's why he held back. The pitter-patter punches at the end. And so in a way, when you say, yeah, it was rigged. Yeah, it was rigged because he didn't knock him out. He knew he could have easily. Honestly, I thought he was incredibly kind to Mike Tyson. He made his money, he knew he didn't have to hurt him, and Mike could leave with a bunch of money and his dignity. Shout out to Jake Paul, and congrats on making all that money.
For Jake Paul, the boxing ring isn't just a place to fight, it's his personal stage to shatter expectations and keep audiences guessing. Fresh off his unanimous decision victory over the legendary Mike Tyson, Paul's star power has reached new heights. The Netflix exclusive event wasn't just another exhibition match, it was a spectacle that cemented Paul as more than a social media celebrity dabbling in the sport. Now, the boxing world is buzzing with speculation about what's next for the polarizing fighter. The name dominating the conversation right now might be Canelo Alvarez. For Jake, a fight against Canelo isn't just another payday, it's the ultimate test. Taking on one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in boxing history would be a move to silence critics and solidify his legitimacy. Jake himself has said as much, calling Canelo a legend, pound-for-pound great, if not the best in the sport. A win over Canelo would be a career-defining moment for Paul, though most would argue he's far from ready for that level of competition. Still, the mere prospect of this matchup has fans intrigued and skeptics rolling their eyes.
He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's, where his mindset's at.
It get up by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry. It's TMT.
You can curse.
I apologize, but
no apologize about.
There's no way he get demolished. But for what he's doing, as long as they keep getting YouTubers and keep putting them in there with MMA guys, that's kind of over the hill, he's gonna continue to shine. So I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even it was so crazy. I remember just a while back, his brother was like, "Oh, I didn't get paid. It was just like I said before. He just want to keep his name out there. As long as he attaches his name to mine, he's gonna keep my name out there. Remember what he said? He said, "Oh, Mayweather ain't gonna. He didn't pay me. He didn't pay me. Where's the lawsuit? If you didn't get paid, where's the lawsuit?" So it's a bunch of bullshit. But like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers, Logan as well as Jake, they know what they're doing. So they're doing what they got to do. I can't knock them.
Of course, Paul's ascent hasn't come without its share of criticism. Many fans believe his fight against Tyson was more spectacle than sport, and they're hoping his next bout will be against someone closer to his prime. While Jake thrives on the theatrics of fighting big names, the audience is growing weary of mismatches like Tyson. For Paul to earn true respect in the boxing world, he'll need to climb higher up the ladder of legitimate competition. Then there's Floyd Mayweather, another fighter known for his love of spectacle. A Mayweather-Paul matchup might seem like a natural fit after all. Both are masters at turning controversy into cash, but size and ego may keep this fight from happening.
Well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. People gonna have good things to say, people gonna have bad things to say. But I just really believe that, I brought a lot to the sport of boxing. I truly is one of the pioneers in the sport of boxing to change the sport of boxing. The fighters today are making the money that they're making in the sport of boxing because of a lot of the sacrifice that I made in the sport. And I'm happy that these young fighters are getting the paydays that they're receiving.
Mayweather, who has built his legacy on skill and business acumen, doesn't seem likely to share the limelight with someone like Jake. And while Mayweather has fought in some of the most lucrative boxing matches in history, including his $250 million showdown with Manny Pacquiao, stepping into the ring with Paul might not be the kind of payday he's interested in.
I'm not here to talk about your personal life. When we talk about, what's going on inside that square circle, I'm the best. No matter how you rate it, no matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice it, no matter if you go to 100 years back, 300 years back, all the way to now, there's only one best, and that's Floyd Mayweather.
As Jake Paul continues to navigate his unconventional boxing career, one thing remains certain: love him or hate him, he knows how to stay relevant. Whether it's a fight against Canelo, a clash with his brother Logan, or another carefully curated matchup, Paul's next move will undoubtedly keep the boxing world talking. For now, all eyes are on him to see if he can continue rewriting the rules of the sport. or if he's bitten off more than he can chew. Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather is a matchup that could be as much about entertainment and marketing as it is about boxing. The tension between the two has been brewing since 2021, when Jake infamously snatched Mayweather's cap at a promotional event for Floyd's exhibition fight against Logan Paul. The stunt caused an all-out brawl and left Mayweather visibly enraged, a grudge he seemingly still holds. Their face-off at an NBA game only reignited the speculation, teasing fans with the possibility of a new showdown between these polarizing figures.
Floyd Mayweather and 50 dudes pull up out of nowhere, out of like some side alley, waiting for me outside of this stadium, and they're like, so what's up? So what's all that talk now? I'm like, first of all, what did I say to you, Floyd? I just took your hat and you're still mad about it? Come on, bro. And then 50 dudes literally start surrounding me to try and jump me. I'm out that bitch. Hey, Floyd, you want to run it one-on-one? No problem, but I'm not dumb, okay? I'm tough. I don't need to prove my toughness, but I'm not dumb. I'm not going to sit there and try to fight 50 dudes. Dipped out of that bitch. Floyd, you're a bro. You're mad because I took your hat. Are you serious? Get over it, bro. Move on. Move on.
For Floyd Money Mayweather, the idea of fighting Jake Paul aligns with the new era of boxing promotion. Since his headline-grabbing fight against Conor McGregor in 2017, Mayweather has been an advocate for the fusion of traditional boxing and viral entertainment. Despite his animosity toward Paul, Floyd seems to respect Jake's hustle, recognizing him as a disruptor who's rewriting the boxing playbook, albeit in a controversial way. Let's be honest, comparing Jake Paul to Floyd Mayweather is far-fetched. Floyd's career is the stuff of legend, an unbeaten 50, 0 record with 27 knockouts, and a reputation as one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time. His finesse and precision earned him titles across 5 weight classes, cementing his legacy as the best ever. On the other hand, Jake Paul's 11-1 record plus an amateur win is built on fights against opponents who were often undersized, out of their prime, or not even boxers. Yes, Paul has KO victories over former UFC fighters and a viral win over ex-NBA player Nate Robinson, but his technical skills are still a work in progress. Physically, Jake Paul has some advantages. Standing at 6'1" with a 76-inch reach, he's taller and heavier than Mayweather, who is 5'8" with a 72-inch reach. Jake's size and youth, at 27, he's nearly half Mayweather's age, could give him an edge in stamina and power, just as we saw with Mike Tyson. But skill-wise, Jake's technique and instincts are far from polished. Critics have pointed out that his success is often due to careful opponent selection rather than raw talent. Put him in the ring with a seasoned pro in his weight class, and many believe he'd struggle to stay upright.
Well, people are just really hating right now. Like the haters are running wild.
What are you saying to the feedback on the fight that you're getting?
I'm not saying anything.
Nothing.
I don't need to say anything. You know, the people who understand the greatness of it and, you know, have their own lives and are happy with themselves, they're going to just show respect and show praise. It's the haters who are jealous and don't have anything going on in their sad and miserable lives, and they want to bring the whole event down and Mike down and me down and all of these things.
If a fight between these two were to happen, it would likely be a spectacle more than a serious competition. Mayweather is a showman who thrives on big paydays, even in retirement. His 2021 exhibition fight against Logan Paul proved that he's willing to step into the ring for entertainment rather than legacy. For Jake, a fight against Mayweather would be another chance to prove his detractors wrong, or at least to keep the world talking about him. While Floyd's lack of knockout power might give Paul a chance to survive all rounds, the skill gap would likely make the fight a one-sided affair. This is the question that divides fans and purists alike. No one is claiming Paul is a world-class boxer, but his trajectory is unique. Unlike traditional boxers who build their early careers against jobbers, Paul's opponents, while flawed, have often been tougher than those faced by most pros in their first 10 fights. That said, the idea of Paul becoming a legitimate contender is still a stretch. He's improving, sure, but his mechanics are far from refined. Critics argue that without his social media fame, Paul's boxing career wouldn't have gained this much prominence.
Right. See, I want to lay all the scenarios out there, all the possibilities, because I felt like that's what I should do. But the ones who just came right out and said, oh no, come on, this is ridiculous. If you think anything other than the 28-year-old win, you're an idiot. You're crazy. You're fooling yourself, you know. But they watch too. They watch maybe because they bet, they figure they're going to make a score, but they also watch because you had to watch. You still, you know, I mean, they got you. They got you. You know, the guy used to be the baddest man on the planet. He smacks him at the end. You had to watch. You just, everyone was going to be there. You had to be there. You had to be there.
If not Mayweather, Paul has other options. A rematch with Tommy Fury, who handed him his first loss in early 2023, could be on the table, or perhaps a fight with a ranked professional boxer, which would finally test his skills at a higher level. Then there's Canelo Alvarez, a dream opponent for Paul that's as ambitious as it is unrealistic. Canelo is one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of this generation. And while Jake seems to believe a win over him would legitimize his career, most fans would see it as a mismatch. However, a fight between Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather would undoubtedly draw massive attention, but for entirely different reasons. For Mayweather, it would be another lucrative exhibition to add to his collection. For Paul, it would be an opportunity to keep his name in the headlines and maybe, just maybe, earn some credibility. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and smash the notification bell. Thanks for watching.